હવે કમ્પ્યુટર અસેસમેન્ટ ઉપયોગ કરવાના ફાયદા 3 રીતે હોય છે. એક તો પેડાગોજિકલ બેનિફિટ્સ, એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેટિવ બેનિફિટ્સ એન્ડ આઈટી એન્ડ સપોર્ટ સ્ટાફ બેનિફિટ્સ. હવે પેડાગોજિકલ બેનિફિટ્સ જેવા કે it enables the assessment of a wide range of topics very quickly with an associated reduction in the time that lecturers or faculty dedicate to marking. The second advantage is the need for double marking is totally eliminated. This time and resources saving allows more regular assessment than might otherwise have been possible, consequently enabling more detailed knowledge of students' progress and quicker identification of problems. Third, tests can be tailored to match students' abilities, and with formative assessments, it may be possible for content to be varied automatically as the test itself progresses. Matches students' weaknesses as they emerge during the test. That is computer adaptive testing. એટલે કે પેડાગોજિકલના સંદર્ભમાં કમ્પ્યુટર આસિસ્ટેડ અસેસમેન્ટના ઘણા ફાયદા છે કે જેમાં બહુ બધા ઓપ્શન્સ અવેલેબલ હોય સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ માટે, કે જેમાં સ્ટુડન્ટનું સરળતાથી મૂલ્યાંકન કરી શકાય. અને પેડાગોજિકલના સંદર્ભમાં પણ વિદ્યાર્થીનું થરો નોલેજ છે કે નહીં, વિષયનું ઊંડાણ નોલેજ છે કે નહીં તે મૂલ્યાંકિત થાય છે. ત્યારબાદ આપણે જોઈએ એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેટિવ મેરિટ્સ ઓફ યુઝ ઓફ કમ્પ્યુટર આસિસ્ટેડ અસેસમેન્ટ. હવે વહીવટી કઈ રીતે કમ્પ્યુટર આસિસ્ટેડ અસેસમેન્ટ સરળ બનાવે, જેમ કે સમયનો બચાવ થાય છે, મોનિટરિંગ અને સુપરવિઝન એનું ઇઝીલી થઈ શકે છે, સમય અને પ્રાપ્ય સ્ત્રોતોનો વધુમાં વધુ ઉપયોગ થઈ શકે છે, કમ્પ્યુટરની મદદથી કામ કરતા હોવાથી પ્રિન્ટિંગ કોસ્ટ પણ ઘટે છે, કમ્પ્યુટરની મદદથી મૂલ્યાંકન કરતા હોવાથી આંકડાકીય મૂલ્યાંકન વધુ સારું અને અસરકારક બનાવી શકાય છે, કે જે મૂલ્યાંકનના સમયમાં ઘટાડો કરવામાં મદદરૂપ કરે છે. અને આ પ્રકારના સક્સેસફુલ ઇન્ટિગ્રેશનથી અને કોઓર્ડિનેશનથી સ્ટુડન્ટ્સનો રેકોર્ડ વધુ લોંગ ટાઈમ સુધી જાળવી શકાય છે અને એ યુનિવર્સિટીની ઇન્ફોર્મેશન સિસ્ટમ અને મેનેજમેન્ટ સિસ્ટમમાં વધુ ઉપયોગી નીવડે છે. હવે ડીમેરિટ્સ ઓફ યુઝિંગ કમ્પ્યુટર આસિસ્ટેડ અસેસમેન્ટ એટલે કે ગેરફાયદા, કમ્પ્યુટર આસિસ્ટેડ અસેસમેન્ટ ઉપયોગ કરવાના ગેરફાયદા. પેડાગોજિકલના સંદર્ભમાં જોઈએ મુખ્યત્વે 2 ઇસ્યુઝ છે, ક્વોલિટી અને સેટઅપ ટાઈમ એન્ડ લર્નિંગ કર્વ. હવે ક્વોલિટીના સંદર્ભમાં જોઈએ તો કન્સ્ટ્રક્શન ઓફ વેલ્યુએબલ ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ટેસ્ટ, કે જેને આપણે MCQ કહીએ છીએ. ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ ટેસ્ટ કેનોટ ટેસ્ટ આ સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ એબિલિટી જેવી કે ટુ કમ્યુનિકેટ ઓર ધેર પ્રોપેન્સિટી ફોર ઓરિજિનલ થિંકિંગ. હવે આ એક બહુ જ ગંભીર પ્રશ્ન છે કે જ્યારે આપણે ક્વોલિટી વિશે ચર્ચા કરીએ છીએ ત્યારે વિદ્યાર્થી જો વિચારવાનું જ બંધ કરી દે તો વિદ્યાર્થીની તાર્કિક શક્તિનો વિકાસ થઈ શકતો નથી. એટલે કે MCQ પ્રકારના ક્વેશ્ચનમાં વિદ્યાર્થીને 4 ઓપ્શન આપેલ હોય ને 4 ઓપ્શનમાં જ એને આન્સર કરવાનો હોય, તો એની જે પોતાની વિચાર શક્તિ છે કે જે 5મા ઓપ્શન તરીકે કે છઠ્ઠા કે સાતમા ઓપ્શન તરીકે વિકલ્પ તરીકે આવી શકે છે, તે કરી શકતો નથી. તો આ એક બહુ મેજર કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ છે, ડિસએડવાન્ટેજ છે વિદ્યાર્થીના સંદર્ભમાં. સેકન્ડ, ધ ઇનિશિયલ સેટઅપ ટાઈમ એન્ડ લર્નિંગ કર્વ. એટલે કે આ પ્રકારનું કમ્પ્યુટર બેઝ અસેસમેન્ટ સિસ્ટમ ડેવલપ કરવામાં બહુ જ સમય તથા ખર્ચ થાય છે અને એ વિદ્યાર્થીને વધુ ઉપયોગી નીવડે ત્યાં સુધી ખૂબ જ મહેનત માગી લે એવો પ્રશ્ન છે. ત્યારબાદ એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેટિવ વિષયક, જેમ કે the higher setup time in terms of academic preparation, a high level of coordination is required, and a cooperation will be needed between learning facilitators, often crossing several departmental boundaries. Second, the administrative time in initially realizing and implementing a scheme can be expected to be heavy. વહીવટીના સંદર્ભમાં જોઈએ તો વધુ સમય માગી લેશે તથા ફેકલ્ટી, સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ, એડમિન સ્ટાફ વચ્ચેનો કોઓર્ડિનેશન, કોઓપરેશન ખૂબ જ અગત્યનું છે તથા વહીવટી સમય વધુ વ્યસ્ત રહે, વધુ ખર્ચાય આ પ્રકારની પ્રવૃત્તિમાં. હવે આપણે જોઈએ ટોપ ટિપ્સ ઓફ યુઝ ઓફ કમ્પ્યુટર અસિસ્ટેડ અસેસમેન્ટ. Before the adoption of any computer assisted assessment system, we have to ensure that full discussions takes place about the computer assisted assessment while considering the aims of such adoption, then move on to a consideration of the practical options. This is most important tip while we think about to adopt or use of or go for use of computer assisted assessment. We have to be very clear about the aims of such adoption and we have to think very, very practically. Then the second tip of use of computer assisted assessment is make sure that students are able to use the software package you have adopted well before it is used under exam conditions. So before we do use it practically for conducting the exam, we have to check whether our students are familiar about software package which we are using for evaluating the students with the help of computer assisted assessment. So we have to orient the students about the software package adopted by us for doing computer assisted assessment of the students. So we have to orient, we have to make them able to work on and have to give the hands-on on such kind of software package so they can get an idea about how to do the use of such software. Then next tip is, if using computer assisted assessment under exam conditions, always have some spare machines in the lab. So whenever any unexpected incidents happen, any machine get down or due to any reason the lab or the machine is not working of any student, at that time we can, if we have the provision of extra machines in the labs, and we can replace the system, computer system, and we provide the comfort to the students to continue their test. Then next point is availability of IT infrastructure and the internet. We have to check sufficient bandwidth is there in the use of internet or not. We have to check whether we have the sufficient IT infrastructure for conducting such kind of test to a group of students. As far as the IT infrastructure is concerned, which consists of hardware, software, network, etc. So we have to very much sure that we have the hardware part, software part, networks, as well as the internet bandwidth for managing the test successfully. Apart from that, we have to ensure that the division of responsibilities between different interest groups for updating and amending assessment is understood before using computer assisted assessment live. So when we conduct the computer assisted assessment on a computer terminal with the help of internet, and when we carry out this test online, at that time we have to be very sure about whatever IT infrastructure we are using get updated, and we have to make the necessary amendments into the assessments, which is very much clear to the students, and then we supposed to plan for computer assisted assessment test on a live basis. Now we are going to see what are the implications for stakeholders. Stakeholders basically consist of faculty, admin staff, students. These are the major stakeholders of computer assisted assessment. So when we think about the implications for stakeholders in case of faculty, then faculty should be very much clear about what do you mean by computer assisted assessment, how computer assisted assessment is used, what are the roles of faculty in computer assisted assessment, and many more. The faculty must be clear. Here some important implications are given with respect to the faculty, that is teaching staff, like gaining access to the system by means of a password. Faculty must be clear about that. He or she get the entry into the computer assisted assessment network with the help of whatever ID and password, that is authorization is given to the faculty. Then with the help of ID and password, the faculty has to create and do the editing of questions of various forms. Faculty has to choose an appropriate range and style of questions for assessment, and has to set usage restrictions on students, that particular test bank is developed for the particular group of students, that is first year students or first semester students of a particular subject students, like that. Then subsequent to the assessment, monitoring the outcomes in terms of individual students or groups of students or the module as a whole. After putting the restrictions, faculty has to take care of monitoring and supervising of whatever test undergone by the students, and has to check or evaluate online that whatever students or number of students who gave the test or exam online, out of that how many cleared, how many failed, how many is supposed to required to improve, and on many more such front, faculty has to keep the watch on the growth or the progress of the students, and accordingly he or she has to guide, direct to the students that this is your performance, and you have to identify the weaker students as well as the students who has the potential to do better than previous one. Now the implications to students, wherein the first one is students working unsupervised at their own pace, receiving feedback as they progress and possibly retaking questions several times until an adequate understanding result in correct answers. The second implications to student is even visually impaired students or those with other special needs may need alternative versions of the given assessments such as large print, spoken versions or braille lipi in what the assessment set is or the assessment is done. Over one thing is very much important in case of the students, that is student has to take care of some information about going for the computer assisted assessment. That is, students be very much clear that how many times he or she want to appear, whether the number of attempts provision is there in such online test or online exam or not, and based on that student has to appear for giving the exam number of times, and student has to check the results frequently, or student has the option to check the results whether he is securing or not, he is securing good marks or not, etc. Then the implications to the IT staff and administrators, that is the viability of the network being the crucial factor. Over here, the IT staff and administrator used to take care of the network and whether the network has the capacity to allow the number of students at a time or not. That thing get taken care by the IT staff and the administrator who is taking the lead to organize such test or carry out or helps in carrying out such test online. Then scheduled online test, that is the arrangement made by the administrator for conducting the test offline, online, etc. The third one implications is the responsibility for pedagogical quality must lie with academic and quality assurance staff. This is most important, wherein as an academic the faculty has to contribute a lot. He continuously come out with the new and new ways